Hello. This is an unusual story. This is the story of how I inherited a number of guitars. Yeah, thanks to YouTube and thanks to doing what I do. So it was about a year ago. It was the end of July, beginning of August 2022 when I received this letter. It says, and I won't read it out because it's a private letter. It was dated the 26th of July 2022, but it's from the executor of a will, the will of Alan Harwood, and in the letter it explains how Alan Harwood was a big fan and enjoyed my music and my guitar reviews and my videos in general, and how unfortunately he died at the end of May 2022. And in this it explains that he has left me his guitar collection, and it gives a number. Again, I'm not going to actually name how many guitars were left because I want that to be a surprise. We're going to work through them. What you're going to see on this in subsequent videos is me working through these guitars as they're sold, because unfortunately I cannot keep them all as we are limited for space and I have my own guitar collection. But I will say I know what it feels like to nearly, not quite, nearly, maybe be about 20 odd guitars away from owning 100 guitars, if I combine my guitar collection in with Alan's. So yeah, when I got this, of course I was very upset. I was very upset at the news that Alan had died, because Alan had supported me over the years via my music. He bought my CDs, we'd interacted. He was such a top bloke, right? He was such a top bloke that when my daughter holds up picture of daughter when she was very young to embarrass her. Should we even do an even younger one? There we go, even a younger one there. When she did her little comic book and we published it on Amazon, Alan was one of the few people to actually buy it and leave a review. That's what a top bloke he was. He supported us. He supported the Locke family, not just financially, but with moral support, and that really cheered Verity up when she got to read his little review of her comic book. So yeah, he was a top bloke, and in January, I think it was January time 2022, we'd interacted and he'd said he'd been ill, he wasn't well. Now I didn't ask, it's not my place to ask. People can volunteer information, again I think it's a private thing. But knowing he was ill, I made a series of videos about looping, because he asked me about live looping. So I recorded them just for him, and I addressed him in those videos. And the weird thing is in May last year, something said Alan doesn't need them anymore, and I actually took them down. Weird, I don't normally do things like that, but I had a funny feeling that Alan wouldn't need them anymore. And then I get this letter. Those videos are back up. I re-edited them and I put them back up on this channel, and you can watch them, and he was the inspiration for that. And that was the relationship, and this is how we end up with this guitar collection. I may have interspersed some pictures of said collection to wet your whistle, but what I want to say is, yeah, of course I'm totally and utterly grateful for Alan for doing this. Unfortunately he can't hear or see this video, but I want this to be a celebration of Alan Harwood and these guitars. Sometimes I moan about them. I moan about a lot of these guitars because they're not guitars I'd ever buy, and I didn't enjoy playing. So I don't want you to think I'm ungrateful, because I'm not. I'm incredibly grateful, and this has weighed heavy on me since I got this letter, because we didn't know how many guitars there were. This is another aspect of the story. In it, she gives a number. There are so many guitars, and you think, okay, and in your mind Initially she says there's 30 guitars, and in your mind you go, I can imagine 30 guitars, because I own X amount of guitars. I can imagine what that's like. But then as she went through his belongings and went through the estate, because she's the executor, the lady here is the executor of the estate and a good friend of Alan herself, more and more guitars came to the fore, and that number increased and increased and increased, and there were other bits and bobs that came to that. And then I helped value, because you have to do a valuation of this stuff before the estate is released. This is the process of probate. Again, many of you might not be aware of it in the UK. I've been through similar things before with my relatives, but funny thing is I've never been left anything in a will. This is the first time I've ever been left anything in a will. When my mother died, she didn't have a will, and the little bit of money she did have left ended up being for her funeral costs, so I walked away with nothing. That's not true. I think I walked away with about £2.65. I made a video about it. It was funny. Got a postal order for it. So yeah, this is the first time I'd actually been left anything in a will, and again, that in itself is incredibly humbling, especially as it's a stranger and somebody that you've interacted with, but you don't really know. You know, but you don't know. And again, this is somebody that used to come in on the live streams and lurk. And again, it's really kind of messed me up in a good way, in a good way, because you just don't know what impact you have on people, how you touch people. You know me, I love touching people. I'm going to keep making that joke until you laugh. So it's left me very confused by it all, because despite what personality comes across in any of the videos you've seen of me, I'm a very quiet and unassuming person who just wants to get in and out of this life without causing too much of a fuss. So it makes me really worry about what effect I've had on the internet, whether it's a positive or a negative effect. Obviously in this case it's positive, but I'm sure out there'll be many who see me as a negative influence, and that concerns me somewhat. But it gets me off the point. Alan Harwood did an amazing thing and has left me humbled and confused and left me questioning myself. That's probably not his intention, but this is the kind of person I am. It makes me question what I do, and you never know what impact you have on people. And over the years I've had people say to me, oh, your videos have helped me through bad times, illness, depression, people losing jobs, whatnot, because I do the live streams on a Tuesday on the other channel. And those moments are few and far between. The majority of the time people don't tell you like that. It's not a constant. And when that comes across, when you hear that, kind of, you catch yourself. And then this happens, and you think, oh my goodness. It leaves you speechless. So what you're going to see, I'm going to dribble out me going through these guitars in this collection. There's some mediocre guitars, there's some great guitars, there's some interesting pieces, there are a multitude of instruments, a lot of the pedals, because there was 4 pedals involved in the lot. I've already sold those, I'm not documenting those. VG99, GR55, I've talked about those in the old days, we don't need to go there again. So that's not part of this, but you're going to see you're not going to see some of it, you're going to see all of this collection as I upload a video. I'm not sure what the schedule will be, maybe it'll be once a week. We'll start, do one video a week, and you can count along with me until we get to the end. And it could take a while. So yeah, that's it. That's the introduction to this. How my YouTube career affected someone so much that they left me their guitar collection. I don't know, is that the title of the video? I don't know what the title of the video is, but it's certainly this action, this single action, has helped me and my family. It's put us in a much better position, and we praise Alan Harwood. we praise him, and we thank him, and we are grateful for him. He's part of the family lingo now. He was before, when he reviewed my daughter's comic, and very said, "Oh, that's really good." And again, you don't know what impact you have on people and what impact they have on you. It's a two-way street. So that's the story. I can finally tell you the story because we're moving towards a resolution. Oh yeah, I haven't told you about how long it took. We got a bit off the subject, didn't I? I went a bit weird. So anyway, yeah, probate takes time, and I helped them with the valuation, and there was also a secondary company who valued the guitars as well. Their valuations were a little bit out. Sometimes we matched. There was at least one guitar where they got it completely wrong, and I mean completely and utterly wrong. So that's interesting. So yeah, it took time, and it wasn't until this May, middle of May 2023, that the guitars were released to me, and we had them shipped all the way from the north of England to us here. And yeah, as you can imagine, we don't have much room here. So some of them are in storage, some of them are here, and yeah, it's difficult. And also, I've been selling them in various sites. I've been getting rid of some of the cheaper models. The cheaper models are easier to sell because people like cheap guitars. They're not such a big fan of boutique and expensive guitars, I've learned. So that's an interesting place to be. And it's also taught me what I like and what I don't like about guitars, which is a very unique position to be in. A lot of the curiosity I have now about guitars has been quenched. Thank you, Alan. Thank you for that. That's good. You did me a good favour there. And yeah, it's such a weird position to be in. And yeah, probate takes about a year. It can take about a year. It should be quicker, but if you're in the UK, if you deal with any organ of the government, because you're dealing with I guess it's the HMRC and places like that, if you deal with any of those people, you're going to get stuck in paperwork hell because they don't know what they're doing. I've had experience of those people in the past, so yeah, it does take time. But here we are. This is the story, and it's a unique story, and hopefully Alan doesn't mind me telling this story. And it's a shame because Alan won't hear or wouldn't have heard a couple of the CDs I've put out more recently, because again, he was a subscriber to my Bandcamp page. You can sign up. Go sign up to my Bandcamp page for £3 a month. And yeah, and I feel I've lost a supporter. That's the worst part of it, because there's that little well of support that you have with your own endeavours, and that's what I miss, is knowing that I had a supporter, and that's the sad thing of it. You have. I like my small but loyal following. I love you people. I love you people because you are small and you are loyal, and I can get my head around that. But I've lost one of the old faithful, and that happens. And the thing about the internet is there will be other people that we've lost in that group who we wouldn't necessarily know that they've gone. In this letter, I knew that he went. I knew that he'd gone. But there'll be other people out there who slipped through the cracks, who I don't know, who are missing, who have gone. And that's the sad part. Alan, at least we knew and we can recognise him, but there'll be others who we've lost who are gone. We'll never know. And that's it. So yeah, I'm very grateful for Alan. I'm very grateful for any of you who are watching this, who have supported me over all this time. It's certainly changed my outlook on a lot of things in life. And yeah, it's odd. I've never been left anything before, so it's weird. I find it weird that, you know, it's a stranger that's done this, where my own family, whether it be my estranged father or my mother, never included me in anything. And that gets inside your head as well. That really does get inside your head. So yeah, thank you for watching. That's an explanation of what you're going to see in these videos. Some of the videos, not all of them, because there'll be other videos about other things, I think. And hopefully I haven't burbled on too long. And yeah, we owe it all to Alan Harwood. Thank you. Thank you. And it certainly makes me feel like I don't have to make any more YouTube videos. I've done it. I did it. It's done. We did an amazing thing. We actually made a difference to someone. That's the thing. Anyway, thank you for watching. My name's Darren Locke. What you're going to see in the videos, there will be marks. They'll be in a playlist. This will be the first video in a playlist, and you will see me document the Alan Harwood guitar collection that has come to me and I have sold on, and hopefully you'll enjoy it. You might not, who knows, but that's it. That's the video. Thank you for watching. There's only one more thing left to say, and that is thanks, Alan, and thanks for watching, and ta-ta.